So latitudes meaning in 2D diagram we call these are the imaginary lines, and the 3D diagram we call as a circles. So they are circles, imaginary circles. We can't see the circles on the earth because earth is a circle. That's why the latitudes we call imaginary circles. In 3D diagram these are the imaginary circles, in the 2D diagram these are imaginary lines, right? Very good. And here latitudes, total there are 181 latitudes. Out of 181 latitudes, so here 90 latitudes in the northern hemisphere. Listen carefully. So this is the earth and this is the equator, 0-degree equator. We are having 90 latitudes in the northern hemisphere, 90 latitudes in the southern hemisphere, one is at the middle. That total we are having 181 latitudes. And this 0-degree we call the equator, and it's the largest latitude among 181, and that's why we call it a great circle. So your equator is known as a great circle. So because it's the largest latitude, very important point. And total there are 360 longitudes. 360 longitudes are there, and 181 latitudes. Equator divides the earth into two hemispheres, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. We'll write here 1 degree north, 2 degree north. Here north, N meaning northern hemisphere, and here we'll write 1 degree S, 2 degree S meaning here southern hemisphere, right? And yeah, even we have discussed yesterday, the 23.5 degree latitude is the Tropic of Cancer in northern hemisphere. Just listen, for example, it's a 23.5 degree north, we call Tropic of Cancer, and 23.5 degrees south we call Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer. This point we have discussed yesterday. And there are 360 longitudes, and longitudes are also imaginary lines in 2D diagram, and they are semicircles on the 3D diagram. On the exactly they are semicircles. That is, for example, it's a north pole, it's a south pole. So like that, these are the longitudes, these are the semicircles. They connect north pole and south pole. And this is the GMT, the central line, it is the GMT, Greenwich Meridian Time, right? And here latitudes are horizontal, these are vertical. If suppose this is the equator, right? Equator, and these are the longitudes. And GMT divides the earth into two hemispheres, eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. So here GMT, Greenwich Meridian Time, it divides the earth into two hemispheres, eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. Equator divides the globe into northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, right? And total 360 longitudes. So out of 360, 179 longitudes in the west, 179 longitudes in the east, and one is GMT and one is ideal, international date line, right? So one is international date line and one is GMT, and this 179 total 360 longitudes on the earth. And these points we have discussed in the yesterday's class. So today we'll discuss very important topic, that is time calculation, right? How the time will be calculated. Time calculation, right? Time calculation. And to calculate time, you should remember one very important point. So here GMT, Greenwich Meridian Time, GMT will be taken as a reference line, right? GMT will be taken as a reference line. And the places those are located on the eastern side, they will be always ahead in time, and the places those are located on the western side of GMT, they will be always behind time, right? So here places those are located on the eastern side, of GMT will be ahead in time, right? And places those are on the western side of GMT will be always behind in time, right? Places those are located on the western side of GMT will be behind in time. behind in time. For example, if suppose if at GMT, if the time is 8 a.m., just one example, if the time is 8 a.m. at GMT and the place X it located at 30° east and place Y it located at 30° west longitude and it located at 30° east longitude. So to calculate time at place X and place Y, so here first we have to take the time difference between the GMT and this place X. And to calculate time difference, you should remember some important points. Just listen. So here Earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. One rotation nothing but 360 degrees. So to complete one 360 degree, Earth takes 24 hours. That is one rotation, 360 degree. So here 24 hours 360 degree. In 1 hour, Earth completes 15 degree, right? So in 24 hours 360 degree meaning in 1 hour 15 degree. So because we have to divide by 24 here, so we'll get 1 hour. In 1 hour, Earth travels or Earth covers 15 degree. And here 1 hour nothing but 60 minutes, and that single bar line shows that minute. That single bar line shows that minute, right? Listen. So here this is 60 minutes and this is 15 degree, right? And here for movement of 1 degree, Earth takes 4 minutes. For movement of 1 degree, Earth takes 4 minutes. Or for movement of 15 degree, Earth takes 1 hour. 1 hour. These are very, very important point. And here the difference is 30 degree. This is 0 degree. GMT meaning 0 degree. And here 30 degree. The difference is 30 degree. And we know that for 15 degree takes 1 hour. For 30 degree means 2 hours. Or you can multiply here. So for 1 degree, Earth takes 4 minutes. And here the gap is 30 degree. Listen, this is the gap. This gap is 30 degree. So if we know that for 1 degree, Earth takes 4 minutes. For 30 degree, we have to multiply 30 into 4. So it is 120 minute. 120 minute nothing but 2 hours. Right? 2 hours. So here this place X is 2 hours ahead of this place GMT. It's meaning if the time is 8 a.m. at GMT, the time will be 10 a.m. at place X, because this place is 2 hours ahead of GMT. It's meaning if the sunrise occurs at this place X, after 2 hours gap the sunrise occurs at GMT, because they are the eastern side, meaning they are ahead in time. And if suppose here the time gap is, listen, the time gap will be 30. Please remember that here the 30 degree gap meaning the time gap will be 2 hours. And here this place Y is 2 hours behind the GMT time. The time is 8 a.m. at GMT, meaning it will be 6 a.m. at place Y. Very important point. So here very important, because many people will not understand. Now the World Cup is going on, and many people don't know the exact what is the time, because what is the exact time in England, because now matches are going on in America and that Africa, right? Caribbean countries. So here the time of India and African time, Australia time, they are different. And to calculate time, so this is very simple formula. So here the places those are on the eastern side of GMT, they will be always ahead in time, and places those are on the western side of GMT, they are always behind in time. I will give one example. Just listen, one more example. Suppose here this is England. Suppose this is Africa and India, right? India, and we are having here Australia, right? Australia. Okay, listen. So, and this is GMT. So here GMT, it passes through the London GMT, Greenwich Meridian time. It's a 0 degree longitude, right? And we are having here Sydney, right? Sydney is very famous cricket stadium. So it is in Australia, Sydney, right? And this Sydney located at 150 degree east. Listen, so whenever the match will start in Sydney, the match starts in Sydney around at 9 o'clock or 9:30 a.m. right? So suppose if it starts at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. at the local time of Australia, because the cricket meaning should start at 9 a.m. because the cricket will the test match will be up to 4 or 5 p.m. right? That's why the test match will start in the morning only. But in India, the match will start in, listen carefully, we are having here 82.5 degree. This is 82.5 degree east longitude, right? And Sydney located at 150 degree east longitude. So in India also, the match will start almost, if the match starts in Australia at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. in India, the match will start almost at 3:30 a.m. 3:30 a.m. Just listen. I'll prove here why the match starts at 3:30 a.m. Listen. Here the difference between the longitudes. Just see the difference. 150 and 82. 82. So almost how much? Here 150 and 82. Just take this one 82. So here 10. It is 8. One carry. So 15. 15 9 meaning 6. Right? One carry 0. Almost 68. 68 degree, right? Approximately 68 degree. And we know that for 1 degree it requires 4 minutes, and for 68 degree 8 4s are 32, 6 4s are 24, and 270. So 272 minutes, and if you divide by 62 convert into hours, so it will be almost how many hours? 4 hours, right? 4 hours